and I went home and I cried. And it was the first time I opened up to anybody in my life about anything. And I think it was my dad and my mom I told about it. And he said it was fine and that sometimes those things happen. Maybe it wasn't God's timing and all that.
What did you open up about? The fact that you felt bad about not being
Yes,
selected?
yes.
Not about your sinful life.
Eh?
Good morning, everybody. And today we are going to be listening to Brother Kingsley's life testimony. And like you know, the reason why we take this testimony is because we want you to see that God can change you too. And God can transform anybody that gives him the chance or surrenders their life to him. And I too am going to be hearing most of the testimony for the first time. So you're allowed to ask questions, but the very major thing you have to do is pay attention so that you will learn from the life testimony. So over to you.
Good morning, everyone. My testimony is quite a long one, and I've been praying and thinking, what part of my life should I share? Because there are just so many branches that I can delve into, and then we spend the whole day talking about it. But I think one of the biggest issues that I think the Holy Spirit has helped me find is that at every point in my life, I was undercover. Okay, is it undercover? Undercover is when you're the good guy and then you're going into darkness, right? But I think you're the flip side. So, you know, where everybody assumes that you are this, but behind there are skeletons in the cupboard, and you're always afraid, okay, what if somebody finds out? What if somebody figures me out? What if somebody finds out what the truth is? And I think I'll just share along those lines, and maybe subsequently I can go into other details. So it all started in 1990 something.
Not that shock.
So I was born into a Christian home. My dad became a pastor eventually, but at the time of my birth, he wasn't a pastor, he was a businessman, and he was doing quite well. When I was thinking about this testimony, I pitied my siblings because I was the one with the golden spoon. But after me, the spoon got lost, and they all used clay and different kinds of spoons. Because I really lived the life, take you to school, bring you back, these kinds of posh things. Then you'd have to write a letter, Daddy, please buy me a football. And then he'd be so impressed, my son wrote me a letter. You buy it immediately. Please, I need this. So those kinds of things. So I think after that, my siblings were going in a vehicle that has 2 tires only. And they would have all of them behind it, the hazard and everything. But it's my testimony, not theirs. So the earliest I can pinpoint anything going wrong, I think our home was a regular Christian home, morning devotions by 5 every morning. Had relatives living with us, at least when I was younger. We had aunties and uncles, my dad's distant relatives come stay with us and all helps. And I think when I was 3 or 4, we had She was a teenage lady. I think she was 19 at the time, but she was a help, and I know quite um, she was quite advanced in age. So I'm guessing she's 19. She'll take us to church and bring us back. So one of those days in church, it felt like she was playing a game or something, and then she sat down behind. She had other children she used to take care of, who she lived with, and I can't even imagine what happens in that house. But I remember myself and my immediate younger brother. So she would bend our heads, keep it on her legs, and kiss us in church. And for some reason, I knew it was okay. What is the? She was hiding, and she was doing it. She would do it quickly, and then look around. In my head, why church? Why is like? And it's. I think it happened maybe once or twice. But subsequently, it sort of awakened my curiosity. And then growing up, we used to have MTV days, and MTV days is not like MTV, that cable network. I don't know what it was. It wasn't like DSTV. DSTV had multiple options. With this one, you have limited options, but one of the major options was worldly song. And under the guise that we were watching Cartoon Network, we would watch Cartoon Network, and at some point they'll switch to worldly music. So those were some of the influences that I feel stirred up, added to the curiosity I had. Okay, what happens when a man and a woman? What happens? And then this auntie, why was she kissing me, and why was she hiding? We eventually had a help come live with us, and at the time I think she maybe was 12, but she wasn't so far away. Our age difference was not, age gap was not so far away, and after my dad and mom would go to work, then I don't know how the discussions arose. We have to play mommy and daddy. There's a game called Mommy and Daddy. Okay, so what happens with Mommy and Daddy? Mommy and Daddy stays in a different room than the other people. Then that time we'll also have my cousins over. I'm sorry guys, when you watch it, God is helping you and will deliver you all. So we also had them come over at the time, which my dad was strongly opposed to, and we'll just separate into different rooms. So mommy and daddy, me and the lady at the time. I don't remember we went all the way or anything, but I know we touched each other inappropriately and all. And I think by this time I was maybe 5 or 4 or thereabout. I know that I was just starting primary school. And then I get to primary school, it just feels like there's an antenna, right? When you are like this, and then people who are like you, devil sends a signal, and then you people find each other. And then a girl in my class, mommy and daddy again, right? So we sit together. I'm touching her skirt, touching my shorts, and in my head, all those times, it didn't. I don't know if I knew what I was doing, but I sure knew that I was just doing things. And after school too, we would stay back, and I don't know why the person who used to pick us up would always delay. At the time, I think it was my mom's elder brother who just passed. My mom's younger brother who just passed. And one of the significant things also in that season was that every time he drove me to school, he used to play worldly music loud, like all those Igbo highlight songs. So I can't even I can't even sing songs now. But that also drew me to love worldly music, and that season of doing all those things, there was also this Kingsley who was loved in church. So when I'm in church, oh, Kingsley's around, who are we sending out for Bible quiz? Kingsley now. Who are we sending out to if there's a Bible competition anywhere? So that, like, we started building gradually. That there's this image, it's not Kingsley again, and then this hidden sin, life of sin, and things that you can't show. Oh, I skipped something major, which I feel contributed to it. One of those days in school, I had come back to the house with a hair ruffle. I don't know if that's what it's called. This fluffy thing that ladies you tie your hair with. It's a hair ruffle, right? So a girl in school had given it to me, and I was supposed to return it before going back home, but I somehow forgot, and all I remember is that I was summoned. And when you receive summons at that time, my mom used to be very brutal. I don't know how to change it over the years, but if my mom summons, you know that you are in for it. And then she asked, "Why did you bring, whose stuff is this?" I'm like, "My classmate." "So why did you bring it home?" Next thing I remember is that I'm on the floor, my hands tied, my legs tied, and the beating was so. I don't know if it was a belt, I can't remember, but after that beating, I swore to myself, I'll never be caught. I will never be caught. I was young, but said in my life, never. So I remember that I think maybe the next day, I still brought that hair ruffle back home. But thankfully, it wasn't the day I was beaten. It was one of the helps that one of my aunties who was staying with us, I reported to my mom. So maybe she saw the beating and was like, "Oh God, I never expected that this boy would be beating this much." So when she saw the ruffle again in my bag, she called me and asked me, "Why did you bring it back home again?" I said, "I forgot to return it." Said, "So what do you want me to do? Should I tell mommy?" I said, "How will you tell mommy? Do you want me to die?" So I remember throwing it away. And I think subconsciously that sort of taught me that never get caught. Just hide away. Like if there's maybe if I was reported again and the right thing was done, maybe it would have been different. But it sort of supported the notion that you're supposed to hide these kinds of things. You're not supposed to come out clean and all. And that sort of set me on a path. After primary school, I was in a certain church. That's the family church where I grew up in, and the young people there were on fire. In a sense, there were vigils. They were praying in the Holy Ghost, and then my mom would always come and ask me, "Why are you not speaking in tongues?" Like, I don't know. I'm just not speaking. Said, "Why? Why would you not be speaking in tongues? All your mates are speaking in tongues." So the pressure. I'm like, I don't understand how, from where to where. We had that conversation a few times, and I sort of started desiring it. At the same time, I had an uncle who was like interested, like he was super interested in me and us, my family. So he was the one who was always taking us on Bible studies. He would tell me that and if he talks to me and all that. Also in that season, I had a lesson teacher. Personally, I didn't experience the man, but I started suspecting that something was fishy after that lesson period. And one of those days in secondary school, I had just come back and he called me and asked to visit. So, like, okay. My teacher, my class teacher, that I've not seen for a while, and he was quite familiar with the family. So he comes to see my mom. They have a lengthy conversation, and then I'm seeing him off, and he told me, oh, that he's getting married and all. Like, oh, that's nice. So I'm seeing him off down the staircase. The young man drags me and kisses me. I'm like, I don't understand. Not the man be this. You think they're for you.
Oh my God.
What's going on here? Like, my head could not process it, but again, I hide it away. I don't know what. And he's like, oh, like he has missed me. And like, and he missed. I don't understand. What do you mean? So in my head, I'm thinking he mixed something up. Maybe there was somebody, and I don't want to name anybody because all I know he was our lesson teacher, and it was my family and another family. So I don't know which of the boys who he missed, but it wasn't me. Because in my head, I'm wondering what's going like, and I felt so bad for him because after that I saw his wedding card. And I'm like, okay, so this man is getting married. And I didn't even understand, like, why you. But that primary school season sort of faded, and then went into secondary school. It was a boarding house. And when I went to secondary school, it was a big break for me because at home there were a lot of Saturday fast on Saturday, pray, go to church, and all of those things. I just did them because my dad put me up to do that, and then there was an image to maintain. Are you not this person's son? You shouldn't be acting like this. You shouldn't be this. By the time I got into secondary school, I don't know, but I really started lying a lot. Like, very fantastic lies that I didn't even understand. I don't know if it was the boarding house. Like, I could relate to Sister G's story. It wasn't extreme like that, but you can put boys in a cupboard and throw you from a 2-story building. I think throughout my JS3 and SS1, I lived in the bush. So we had bunks there. So one of those days, our warden came and set fire. Set fire in the bush. How they knew that there was trouble? When he saw several young children running out of the bush with their mattresses and boxes. So people were moving their things out of the trees and all that. You know, secondary school was a jungle, like. Oh, good. Okay. So, but one of the things in secondary school was I stopped going to church completely. Anytime I went to church, there was a bazaar happening. So there was money to make. I had this belt thing that I was an expert with. So you know that we're about to make money for that day. So that's how I would even attempt going to church, but I stopped completely. Sundays were either playing football or hiding at the stream. But I remember that in that period too, when we were going to the stream, there was this guy who used to be at the stream when we come to fetch water. The thing is, the school provides water for students, right? But if you are unfortunate and go to the tank to fetch water, like you have the boldness to go to the tank, know that you'll be somebody's houseboy for that day. So it's called capone. They will capone you from there. You fetch their water, wash their clothes, massage them to sleep. Before that's if you sleep, because if the person is a wicked person that God really needs to punish, the person will get you to massage them, and when you stop, to wake up and say, why did you stop? Guys, it's 12 a.m. They continue and never sleep. You can do that if you stop by 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. and that's when you get your own sleep and all. And then you have to do morning duties by 5 a.m. and all that. So we spent most of our time in staff quarters, on the field or at the stream. And the stream was because that's the only way we can get our own water. Because if you go to the tank, you lose your day or your week, because they may seize one of your things and then you have to come and do the washing consistently, or you become somebody's school son, which was not an option for me, because I cannot be sharing my provisions with you. And then what are you doing school father about? And then all the other stories, we've seen them beat people because they were gays and all that. So going to the stream, there was this man who would come to the stream all the time. He was friendly with us, and I saw that he was a little more interested in me than other students. And then I used to have some of my classmates tell me, Kingsley, don't be going to the stream alone. No. Don't go to the stream alone. I didn't understand it. So one of those days I went to the stream alone, and voila, our man is there. And it's like, how are you now? You came alone today. What happened? Your friend? Like, I needed to wash quickly so that I can go and read or something. And it's like, oh, but you know that I live around. I'm like, okay. Don't you want to come and see my house? Naive me. I said, okay. And again, we were hungry. So in my head, last, maybe food can come out or something. I went with him. We were gisting. Oh, where are you from? I'm from Enugu. And we got to the house. Said the house was an uncompleted apartment, right? Oga, I can't even remember how he opened the door, maybe with a spoon or something. But I know that we got into the house. Oga did not even have a bed. What's it called? It was maybe a blanket or a bed sheet on the floor. And he now went on about that he's still trying to set up the house. The house is sorry that the house is not all set up, that he doesn't have other things, but that's not to worry. He can take care of me. I like, take care of me how? I don't understand. What are you talking about? Next thing, Oga had come close to me and held me and was trying to touch me. That's when I realized, hold on, this is, I almost called his name. This is the same thing that that former teacher, that stunt he tried to pull. So I don't know how they I don't know how God did it. I remember telling him that, was it God or devil? I don't know. Remember that I told you that I was lying a lot for a living. So I told him, oh, I just remembered that I have to get back to school now. I asked him what the time is, and then he told me, I'm like, bad time. You know what? I will come back. I like the way that you're building up your life, but I will come back. I will come back. Definitely. He's like, are you sure? I said, yeah, sure. I will come back. Don't worry. I now know your house now. Is it not the stew, then this? Said, yes, exactly. I said, fine. Alright, now take care of yourself. Thank you so much for bringing me to your house. I went out and I ran. Oh God. So both had nothing on me that day. I ran back to school. But that memory kind of stuck with me. Right. And throughout my junior secondary days, I sort of coasted. Like, there was really nothing happening until JS3. I got into a relationship, and I don't know how, but all I know is that I was trying to pronounce somebody's name. Let's say there's no princess in this church. Let's say we're trying to say princess. Okay, like Priscilla. Yeah, princess. And then he said Princey. It was just a joke. Then that was how we started staying back after school and started kissing each other. And it was so bad that I will miss food. So school was the routine for school was immediately you're done with classes, you're supposed to go to dining for lunch. I would miss lunch and stay back in class. And then somehow my colleagues caught wind of it. I don't know how, but they now changed my name to Kujina Miono now. And Kuji was my initials. KUJ, Kingsley Uchenna James. The I, he said I looked Hausa, so it would make sense to answer Kuji. And then I was, I know secondary school. Aslam brothers, if I hear this thing from any of you. So Kujina means Kingsley that licks mouth, or Kingsley that kisses. So imagine the whole school calling you Kujina Miono. I died. Normally, I had a very low self-esteem. Like, God, I broke up of it. That's the name. It was just the shame from the name that made me break up. It's not that I realized it was not good or nothing. It was the reputation. Like, no, I can't be this guy. And then I put out a rumor that the girl was sucking my brain, and that was why my my grades went down. And it was crazy. The story then in school. The funny thing is that one of my friends in class started dating her, and then they started hanging out after class too. So I was happy I wasn't the one who was now the, and if people watch this video, God will help you, that's your problem. So both of them stayed behind and we are doing the Miono things. I wasn't in the picture anymore. I was just happy that my name was not there anymore. And but by the time we got to SS1, I kept up my routine, show up in church when there's a bazaar, when there's money to make or food to eat. And then one of those days I had gone to my guardian, because we usually have teachers who are guardians who help us keep our stuff. And on my way back to the hostel, I meet one of my friends. He used to be in my primary school, Ikechi.
And he asked me, Kingsley, you've been in this school for 3 years and we've not seen each other. I'm like, you're the one who is hiding now. Because then also I used to play football almost every weekend. I like to say I'm a very good goalkeeper. I used to be, sure, until one new student came in and benched me. That's how my career in football ended. Now I would have been playing for Nigeria. So he asked me, so where are you going to? I said, I'm going to the hostel. He asked me, which fellowship do you attend? Like, which one is fellowship? Which church do you attend? I said, I don't know. Like, what are you saying? I go to the Catholic church. Or he said, but there's a Protestant chapel. Like, do you people eat food there? He said, no. I said, I'm not coming. Like, you're going to fellowship with me because it was in the afternoon. Did you go to church this morning? No. I went to the field. That's how the guy dragged me to fellowship, and that's how I came back to church and the church setting, and started attending fellowships and started praying with them. We had a group of guys in SS1, but the thing about it also was in school, the people who attended those fellowships were treated a certain way. They were treated like, these ones, I beg, you people carry your wall and be going. So I also didn't want that stigma. Throughout all my life, I think the main God has been me. Like, it has myself, my reputation. I don't anything that will tamper with it. So, and why I'm saying this is because I remember that one of those times, an argument ensued in my class. I think I was in SS2 at the time, and one of my classmates was trying to make the point that you people, you're always a certain type of way, you're always feeling like you're holier than everybody. And then I was now making a case. I may be an S-school, but I'm not like that. Am I like them? I'm not like them now. I'm normal. I'm a normal student. I know that I attend church, but I'm also normal. The guy's like, sharp. You know, they like them, like that, like that. I'm like, let's be cool. Don't worry. Stomach is judging me, please. I just had to say it. Okay, stomach is judging me. Her face. So, but I feel like that sets me on a path, and it was part of the reasons to why I could also break up from that relationship. Because now there were new expectations that were had of you. You had to be in meetings, so I didn't have time for a lot of other things. I had to attend fellowship, I had to pray, and then my guys back then used to pray almost every night from 12 to 3, and then of course normal prayer. Now you attack all the attackables, go to the air, all the powers of the air, the principalities. So we were shooting everything down. And we had people who were seers amongst us. We say, oh, we just saw a dwarf dancing around the tree in front of the hostel. Prayer. We'll pray till oh God. Oh God. We'll pray and pray a lot of prayers. And by the time I left secondary school, I think SS1 also I gave my life to Christ, like for the first time. Really, not being in church and doing all of the activities. Like I know I really gave my life to Christ and began to serve in church, served in, I think then it was SU. I was serving in Scripture Union, and funny thing is that we had another fellowship that was not Scripture Union. It was a little more liberal. They could accept hugs and all that, and so many things that. And I know why I'm saying this part of the SU was very come to church, face your this just be very So I liked it, made sense to me because I've been like this all my life. It only makes sense to take this other end of the scale. But after secondary school and leaving secondary school, I went back home and I wrote jam. I had lofty dreams. I wanted to study medicine and surgery.
Did you not just say you were playing all through secondary school? But continue.
So when I told you somebody is judging me, I was playing, but you can't mess with my dreams. My dream is my dream. My dream was valid.
Don't tell them what you read. Continue.
So I wrote jam. I know that with all the dreams, I was like, I can't do any small school. Let's go to Unilag. I think Unilag was my first choice. Ibadan. I don't know if it's Ibadan or Amadou Bello. But so by the time the results came out, I shocked myself and my parents. So when they were asking me this, well, they didn't understand. My parents are not scholars, so you can get away with a lot of things. So by the time I tell them my score, okay, quality quarter. It came up, they score. But why did they give you that vision? Like that, those people are just, they hate Igbos. So oh God, no, when I knew that I had failed, oh Jesus, oh dear Lord.
Tell us one of these scores.
I cannot shame my family in that manner. But it was a very bad. So it humbled me. Like, okay, let's not target loft things. Why are we going to Lagos? What is in Lagos that we cannot find in the east? Why are you going to that? So I'm like, okay, let's just look for the guys around the second jam. So let's do UNN, Suka. At least they'll consider me that one of them. I'm from Enugu, so I think the score was worse than the first one. Somebody had advised me, why don't you, what I'm seeing, I think that you are a computer person, why don't you just, no, what are you talking about? My father has called me a medical doctor all my life. Can't you see that don't I even look like a doctor to you? Oh Lord. And another bad result. So I went home and I stayed. So, but you know that when you go home, there are going to be suggestions. Okay, somebody tells me about a program in Ebonyi State University. Like, no, why would I go to a state university? And Ebonyi State, not Ebonyi State. Sorry for Ebonyi State. Sorry for the shade, but I don't know why Igbos are like this. It's just general. People always consider themselves better than other people, and it's something that I don't even understand. But like not a state university, for crying out loud. So I go for the program, and in all of this, I think at that time my dad had moved to full-time ministry. He used to be a trader, like I had mentioned, and he was transferred to the north. I think at the time he was in Kaduna, and it was just me and my mom. And like I said, my mom used to be this very tough person, and then somehow she became very soft. I could get away with a lot of things, and the EPSU idea came up. We decided to try the program. So the idea was, if you do the program, you would get direct admission into EPSU to study medicine, of course. So my mom took me to Ebonyi State, and we met a man who, so he claimed he was a pastor. I think he was a pastor. He was running a fellowship too, but the only members were me and his sister, his younger sister, who also lived with us in the house that my mom had taken me to. And my mom, mothers and food, my mom would pack this big bag of food and bring it and send me to Ebonyi State with it. And these guys, in my head, they were having a good time, and it's my food that you're eating. Why are we not eating your own food? So I go to for lectures one of those days, and I run into one of my classmates from secondary school. This time he was one of the so you know that in every I don't know if your secondary school was like that, but in secondary school there were like guys who were the celebrities. I don't know what they are called now. There was a name for them, but they were one of the happening guys. If there was a party and they were not there, the party had not started. They had money, they could bring their father's cars to school and all. So I ran into him, and the guy was nice. And in my head, you're a human being after all. In school, we used to see as something. And then the guy was asking me, what's up, where do you stay? And he kind of invited me to his house. So I came to his house, stayed for a while. So I think I couldn't go back that day. And he said, that I could stay over. But in his compound, I met these other guys. And they were young guys. And we were all doing the program. Right? So the idea is sort of registered. So why don't you move in with these guys? And then I asked, and he said, it's fine. There were about 7 boys living in one room, without a bathroom, without a kitchen. It was just a room that had a window and a door. And I started moving my things out gradually from that house, that pastor's house. So he would drag me for fellowship on his fellowship days, and after that I sort of escaped from the house and stayed with these guys. My schoolmates had a girlfriend, but he's not the problem. It was the guys who I stayed with. These guys did everything. They drank, they smoked, and there are days that I wake up and then I hear stories that just beside my head they were sleeping with a girl, and then they slept with her a number of times, and they were throwing their contraceptive on my face, and it was I couldn't imagine. The stories were just so in my head. I'm asking myself, what have I gotten myself into? How do I go back to that house? But it's far from school now. Like, I'll give myself all the excuses. It's far from school now, and those guys, like, they are taking advantage of my food. Like, what bag of food or something. So for 1 full year, I was in that space. I would follow them for the parties. I wouldn't drink, I wouldn't smoke, but of course, you're a secondary smoker. You're there. You are taking in the fumes and everything. And I hear it's even worse. All of the gist about women, immorality. At some point, one of the guys moved up and moved in with a girl who was staying in the compound, who had another house. So a lot of things were happening. They would have compound parties, and somehow, sort of, everything I had gathered from SS1 to SS3 sort of started losing it. No Bible, again, no church. I remember church. I attended one church that period. I think it was the week before we wrote our final exams, and it was a church, one of the top churches where you fry your hair. So we got to the church. I didn't say anything. I don't know why we're laughing. So when we got to the church, the man of God spoke so powerfully. I'm like, oh my God, Oh my God. And then he said, you have to sew something. And I remember, what do I have? Then I remember him saying that there are people who have come and all they had was their shoes. I removed my shoes. I removed my shoes and I kept it on the altar. He said, don't worry. By the time God is done with you, your life will never be the same. My life was never the same again. Because the amount of stones and things, I walked with my. Did I remove my socks? Did I add my socks to the shoe? Okay, I think I walked home with my socks. I think I had some dignity. But I walked home barefooted from the church, and it was quite a distance. We didn't have transport. So imagine boys trekking. And my boys were just laughing at me. I don't know if they were with me, but those boys were annoying. So I trekked from that church, hoping that God will help me pass my exams. And then threw in a few millions. It won't be bad to be also rich in the process. I sacrificed my shoe, my precious shoe. That's how I walked home. I still failed the exam. Failed the exam woefully and went back home. So, but after pre-degree ended, funny thing is, throughout that season, I was just in the company of evildoers, but I was not the evildoer. Right? I didn't participate in any way.
You're not the evildoer yet.
Yes. But just before the program ended, I get into a vehicle, and as I get into the vehicle, I meet a lady, and somehow she looked familiar. I know I had seen her in school, and then we got talking and realized that we lived on the same street at home. The program was ending and I was going back home. She also didn't get the admission too, and she was going back home. We didn't see for a while, right? But I remember that I would wake up at home. There was nothing to do. My dad was not around. My siblings were in school. My current colleague, who is my sibling, was in my father doing ministry in Kaduna at the time.
Bishop.
So it was just me and my mom. So a lot of spare time. I started going out to see, okay, where would I go? And then there was this group of boys around the area. The ringleader used to sell recharge cards at the time when it was a thing. But every morning, 7 a.m., as my mom is going out for her business, me, I'm going out for my own business. So we're going there to gist. And me, my own is to sit down, observe, and listen. Because I don't have any stories. So they will tell stories about conquests. Any lady that passed, they have something to say about her. Oh, this one, oh, she has this, she's done this, oh, I have done this. Stories. Guys, both the truth, both the lies. So you can imagine somebody feeding you those stories for 3 months, 4 months. That's what I wake up to. That's what I go back home to. And then one of those days, as we're gisting, a young lady walks by and they tell me, Kingsley, this one is your size now. Which one is size again? I say, follow and talk now, follow and talk. So I got that boldness and I walked up to her and I don't even remember what I told her. But I know that conversation ended with be my girlfriend. And it's the first day we're having a conversation. And then she said, okay, no problem. But no sex. I'm like, okay, that's fine. 24 hours later, my mom had gone to work and I finally had sexual encounter in my life all the way. and a lot more followed. Series of things, abortions. Funny thing is, it was now not. It felt like it was for her. It wasn't enough having just her, because these guys have told me about conquests. There are so many people to be had. So why settle with one? And that sort of became a lifestyle for me in that period. And then my mom came up and suggested, why don't you get a job now while you're waiting for school and all that? I'm like, okay, good idea. And then I think I got a teaching job and add money into the mix. Makes everything worse. I remember one of those days when my mom had traveled. So it was just me at home. And I desperately was looking for a lady to come sleep. I don't know why it was so, like, I know demons had entered, but I desperately was looking for somebody to come and sleep over in the house that night. And my mom had a little shop too, a kiosk where she used to sell. So when I had exhausted money from work, I would, that shop. I confess that I ran it down. My other siblings who also ran it down, you people should go and confess to your mother. I remember my father would say, this woman which business have you done that? It's my siblings. My siblings were the problem. So, okay, it's me. Sorry, let me confess for myself. Others, go and do your confession. I don't know if my colleague was involved at the time, but he will speak for himself. So, I remember that night my mom had traveled, and this young lady walks past the shop. At this, I think it was 10 p.m. or thereabout, 10 p.m. or past 10. I closed the shop slightly. It was dark, and then I tried to call her attention. She doesn't respond. I jammed the, where there's a gate and then there's an outer protector. I jammed the protector and then I follow her. And then I kept asking, talk to me now, fine girl, how are you? The girl did not say anything. Talk to me now. I didn't realize that, okay, no, let me not spoil the story. So I kept walking behind her. How far now? You don't want to talk to me? The girl would look at me and keep walking. I kept following her until I ran into a group of vigilantes. That's when I realized the lady was slightly mentally retarded.
What he means is that he was calling a mad person or a semi-mad person.
Not well. So now, these vigilante guys are looking at me and wondering
if you're mad.
If I'm mad too, like. So they understand they understand what is going on. They understand. So they are telling me, okay, guy, where did they stay? I tell them, so what did they do here? There's no bike, how did you get here? They are wondering, how did you get here? So they asked the lady is saying in strong Igbo, I don't know him. So they first asked me to lie down first. Lie down. I think they asked me to take off my shirt, flog me with the machetes they had a number of times. And then I think I left my phone at home. And then they asked me to give them my dad's number. Like, I've been lying all my life, guys. You can't catch me like that. And then I gave them my number. They kept calling my number. They're like, why is his number not going? I don't know. He has his phone. Maybe it's not on. They kept calling and calling. So they asked me, after flogging me, they said, sit down on the floor. I sat down on the floor. Asked the lady, I think they allowed the lady to leave or something. I was just praying, I'm like, God, just save me from these people because, hey God. Just, I can't, my dad cannot hear of this. He will kill me like I'm dead. That was my concern. So eventually, they decided to let me go. I think it was by past 2 or thereabouts. But they escorted me to the road and said, from here on, you're on your own. Because then there was an army operation happening in Aba. And if we were caught as a young person, they could shoot you on the spot. So them as vigilantes also were also not safe. So they said, from here on, you're on your own. Find your way home. We've escorted you this far. So then, thank you. God, please just help me. I got home, got to the store, locked up the store. Thankfully, nobody broke in, nothing. Went back home. Went up into the house and went and slept. I don't know if it was God saving me or God punishing me. I don't know which one it was, but you would think that after this time I'll stop or something, but no. And this whole time also my lying had increased. So I stopped going to church completely this period too. Every Sunday was a session of whatever used to happen with me and my girlfriend back then, because I was working. So Saturdays my mom is around. Sundays I rebelled. My mom was, will you come to church? Yes, I will come. Just go ahead. I'm behind you. Then eventually auntie will come around. So have our own praise and worship session. To the devil now, it's not to God. So in the house, and my mom, people around started noticing and reported me to my mom. So my mom started talking in parables. The things that kills a king: women, drink, sex, women, drink, and is it money? But that scripture used to like
Lamuel.
oh my mom, that scripture I never, it was something she would repeat all the time. So me, I knew that she had heard something. But eventually, right, there were public holidays. There were times when school would close. It's a primary school, so there are holidays and all. But something happened one of those days. My mom had just had a conversation about Kingsley, I hear that you are always going to, she called the area where the lady stays. I heard you're always going there. What are you looking for? Is your destiny in that place? Did your father, like my mother, she will talk and talk and talk. I'm like, Mommy, I don't know what you're talking about, please. I have no idea what you're talking about. And when we're done with that conversation, she said she's going to the market. I pick up my phone. She's still at the staircase. And then I call a number and tell the number that prepare. My mom is leaving the house. Right? I'm speaking to this person on the other side of the phone. Prepare. My mom is just about leaving the house. So start coming. Right? Then my mom comes back to the house. Asks me, who did you just call? So I checked my phone again, and it was my mom that I called. So my mother is looking at me, and she has no words for me. Like, she just carries her bag and she goes out. Stupid me. Shebi, is that not word enough? I still called and say, how far now? Sorry, do you know what just happened now? I wanted to call you, I went to call my mother. But it's fine, she has gone, right? And it just continued, like, kept happening until eventually another jam season comes, right? Now I'm very humble. I'm looking for options. I'm open to ABSU, all these local schools that I could not even get their cutoff. Right? So somebody suggests, try Uyo now. Uyo has been accepting. He has been accepting rejects since 1975. These people is not that popular. That there are people like, I'm like, it's okay.
That's not true. Guys, I just want to give a disclaimer because I had 3 whole 7 to enter into you with my aptitude test.
People enter, they want something.
What did you read? Tell us.
Relax.
We are going
It's not about the course.
It's what about
It's
what?
about entrance. Did you enter the school? Do you know what I tried to study in UNN? They still did not give me.
Excuse me, continue.
So she sold you, it's a federal school and all that. So I'm like, okay. Looking back, it was just God doing his thing. Because at the time, I think I was trying to go to either Anambra or so, maybe Oka. I can't remember which of the schools again, but there was no Uyo in the picture. So you can imagine that I've had the conversation with my mom. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is the plan, and consulted a few people. So I get to the cyber cafe to do the registration, and everyone is like, just feel Uyo now. Why are you? Is this not like the 3rd time or the 4th time? I'm like, I don't even know. It's like, just. So I decided to change there on the spot, field Uyo, and I think that's like my lowest score. Right? No, this is. I'm saying that is a miracle. That's like the point I'm trying to. I'm not saying that they accepted an unintelligent person. And then the pre-degree, the post-UTME, also one very ridiculous score. So I just called my mom and said, this one not work. Let's just, maybe this school thing is not for me. Maybe I'll just start looking for where I will just do boy, do my apprenticeship. Small time I'll own a shop. My mom was selling fabric, so I didn't consider it, but I mean, it was a thought. So, the funny thing is, after I write my post-UTME, a friend of mine from the church I was attending at the time, calls me and says, Kingsley, how far now? I know say you na sharp guy. Can't help person writing post-UTME. I'm like, is that not dangerous? They no go catch me. Say, a normal thing. Say, okay. Say, but say you sharp now. I say, I sharp now. I was willing to do it without pay, but they now offered me money. I said, they will pay. Are you sure? They will pay. Okay, no problem. I'll do it. So. I remember writing the exams, and I don't know how I ran into the guy. Like, the person I wrote the exam for knew me, and then we ran into each other one of those times when he had come back to check his results. I also had come, so he asked me, how far now? you been, I said, oh, I've been get. Okay, he didn't even know I was trying to get into school. He thought I was in school already. So when he was surprised that I was doing registrations. Like, you been? I said, oh, I've been come right too. Eh, okay. How far you on? Say, I no see my name. Oh, like, hey, yeah. Just check again if he come up for second batch. But I know I heard the story. It was the score was so bad. The guy. I'm surprised that he didn't beat me up. I'm so shocked. And then I think I had money, so I was prepared. If he asked a refund, I would have refunded him his money that he paid back then. But moved to Uyo, and at the time my dad was around. I can't remember if he was transferred back to the east. I think it was that period. So we're having a conversation, and my dad already had suspicions that I was not okay, because one of those times he was around and he told me, oh, he was traveling. So he had told me how he was going to travel in the afternoon and all that. He was going to go somewhere and all that. And I also made my own plans. So by the time I assumed that he has left the house, I call auntie to come over, but the shop, we were broke, so we had to raise money from me and my mom's joint business that I was running at the time. So as we're making, so she comes into the shop and she sits inside the shop, and then my dad just comes back home, that he just remembered that I'm going to school, that I'm traveling, something like that. I was traveling too. Okay, I think I was already in school by this time. So I was going back to school. So he came back to pray for me. So you can imagine coming back to pray for your son. You now see a white lady sitting in your wife's and managing your wife's money box. So my dad is looking at me and looking at the lady. Now ask her, who are you? She mentioned her name. Which church do you attend? She mentioned the church. Are you born again? I can't remember what she responded. My dad looked at me and said, come. Took me to a corner of the shop, prayed for me, and then left. And then eventually he talked about it and told me, I know the meaning of that thing that was going on. Like, how can you bring it? And all that. And that was like the only time, right? So I think it kind of influenced when I was coming to Uyo. He brought me to Uyo himself. We went to school, did some of the registrations and all that. And then we started looking for an accommodation. So he brought me to Unio Annex. For those of us who attended Unio would know the Annex campus and the main campus. So we went to M2. He asked around, where's the M2 hostel? Where's the boys hostel? So he took us to M2. Like, oh, nice place. So while we were walking back, he saw another building close to M2 and sort of asked somebody, so what is this hostel? He said, it's female hostel. He looked at M2 and then female hostel. He said, never. He took me outside. He said, let's leave this place. We went outside the school. And that was how we looked for a house off campus. He said, no son of mine is going to be in the hostel, close to a female hostel. I wish that I lived in that M2 hostel. I wish I really did. Because we got the house that night. And the funny thing is that the house was on top of a motel that was closing down.
Your dad didn't do his checking.
His checks? No. That check was okay for him. That was his own check. So we paid for the house. Said they were going to renovate and all that. So we left and all. So by the time I came back to
when I came to Uyo, the first day I came to school, the first person I ran into was the lady from the pre-degree program, who was also my neighbor, right? Throughout that time, we talked. She got to know me, and then she told me that there was an opportunity for immoral stuff to happen between us, but she said no, it couldn't happen because she knew at the time too I hadn't started being wild. So
At least started being wild.
yes.
What was all this one at all?
No, I'm saying before this time. I'm just backtracking a little.
Okay.
So she said, oh, that she wouldn't be the one, that she knows that I'm supposed to work for God, something like that, along those lines, and that she wouldn't be the one to tamper with that. Right? Those were the words she said to me, and left it. So I now run into her in Uyo, and Kingsley, and then I mentioned her name, Sister A, and what are you doing in Uyo? I just got admission here, and okay, I'm here visiting a cousin. How are you now? Talk. I stay just down the street. She comes to the house, then gist. How far? Well, I'm no longer a child of God the way you thought and met me when we met. And she said, she knew that these girls. But anyways, after everything, we still went all the way with each other. And it was a chain reaction, like what was happening at home, just copy and paste. But the friend who was in my church at the time and was also in Uyo was attending a church on Ipanya, names withheld, and got me to attend the church with him. Anytime I come to the church, we prophesy from the beginning of service to the end. There's somebody here, you have 2 legs, your 2 legs are not equal, come out. Then there's somebody here, you drank garri this morning. Then the person will come out. Did you put groundnut? There are 3 people here. Which one put groundnut inside? The one that put groundnut will come. You are the one. The whole church contributes money. Pick how much you want. Everybody will shout. After that we go. Where's the word of God? Okay, no problem. Said start believers class. I'll come for the believers class on. And as a student, like my time was precious. You can't come and
Time where you use it.
Someone to relax. My own time at this time was precious. Oh God. So we would come for the Bible class. Let's say BBS. So that BBS is Bible Believers Bible class, Bible school, sorry. And it was supposed to be a school where you've joined the church, you learn all the tenets of the faith, and then help you mature as a believer. Me, that is the young believer, when I arrive and I ask for when is the class starting. This is like 4:30. The class, they told us it will start by 4. You say, which class are you? 101. 101. 101 teacher day. Say, that guy no come today. Let's say we do 505 today. It used to be a comedy. Then we come the next day. Which one? I did 501 yesterday. But have you done 101? No. Okay, let's do 101 today. Let me just, all of you that have not done 101, come. It was disorganized. And then church meetings. There's always, and then they never saw me in the prophetic something. So what's the essence of coming to church? I come to church, watch other people collect all their prophetic words. They were not seeing me. So what's the point? So next thing, he was also attending the fellowship on campus, and was one of the I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but it was one of those kinds of fellowships where glory to God, all those EOP things happening. So he told me, come, there's a fellowship I can go to. It's very nice. What's very nice about it? You go see babes. Please, I'm not coming. He said, just come. So I attended the fellowship, started attending, and sort of became consistent. Well, in that fellowship, the leader at the time was trying her best. So the fellowship had a reputation in school, and it was a reputation of being immoral. The leader at the time was trying to clamp down on that, but I dare say that she was going about it the wrong way, because it's one thing to teach people the word of God, and make them understand what the Bible says and how they should live, and the other things, and policing them, don't do this, don't do that, and there's no basis for it. So it's just that this person said it. There's no extra reason why should I do it beyond you. Okay, that means when you're not around, I can as well do it, and honestly, she tried her best at the time. Also, I had one of the prayer secretaries at the time. She was following me up. She would call me, Kingsley, tell me what are the things you're going through. She would get my book and write them and say, these things, God has to take care of all of them. You can't be living like this. This is not the way to live life. And I didn't know why she was so interested. She say a lot of things. Oh, God is interested. I say, which God is interested in who? Do you know the things? Me. Please, oh. But so with all of that, I devised a new means. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm attending fellowship. I'm not going to check fellowship girls. My justification is that I'll be checking outside girls. They are not part of the ship, right? They are not part of. So now my guilt will be that if I cross into the territory of the Lord. So my justification is outside people. They are the ones that are not safe, and me too. So from year one, I would attend lectures here and there, and then results would come out, and my results were okay. They were not bad. Year one. One particular result at the time, one particular exam at the time, we had finished writing in school, and I was feeling very hungry. So I went back home and slept and left the exam. And my colleagues kept calling me. And that was how I failed that course. I think it was GST or something. So my classmates didn't know what to, they didn't know if this one is a serious human being, if it's unserious. They didn't know what to make of me. But I knew that another course, I think it was maths or something, I don't know what I wrote, but I got B, and it was the highest in the class. So the reputation was now leave that guy, you na scam. He go come deceive people, he no go come lecture. Then he will come and write exams and pass. I was just the devil setting me up because by year 2 the failure was massive. Like back to back, things that were simple. Biology was once is a biology course. I don't need to read for it, but I started failing, and with that came depression. And I was thinking, well, what I'm studying now. Okay, guys, I didn't get into medicine, right? I didn't get medicine.
Oh, you guys thought he got it because he went to come and he did it. He couldn't have. What did you get instead?
I'll tell you in another session. So I studied botany, guys. Relax.
He studied about medicine. I'm sorry, don't come for me when you watch this.
We have heroes. We have heroes. Do you know Dr. Iguedo, Google cleanser? Very prestigious Dr. Iguedo.
They studied about medicine.
Botany and ecology.
Plants and animals. No, just plants.
So somehow I stopped going to school entirely. Every morning I'll wake up, scroll through my phone and look for a same partner who was available. So I'll text, how far are you going to class? I've gone, I'm not around. One will be available, and then spend the day misbehaving. And that continued for a while, right? And you don't have CAs, so you're not going to have exam scores, and you're going to fail, and you're still going to be depressed. So I found solace in a lot of worldly music, very dark music. And the funny thing is, in fellowship, I looked like I had it all.
Oh, you were still going for this fellowship?
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
In fellowship, Kingsley was the golden boy. He had it all figured out. Man, don't worry, that year.
Sorry, wait, did not some people in your fellowship in your class? No.
No.
Okay.
No, there was nobody in my class who was attending my fellowship. And looking back, I think like most people had similar stories. They were either not serious with their studies, bound with different things, and it was just a similar story. And on the fellowship side, Kingsley, child of God, always available for church, always involved in activities. Funny thing is that I think maybe at the end of my first year, my name was already being pushed for president of the fellowship. So you can imagine how that added pride to the mix. So you're here wondering, okay, I know that what I'm doing is not exactly right, or maybe this is who I am. Maybe there's no hope for me. Maybe there's no hope for me, right? And
but I don't have a choice. Like, who can I speak to? And the only person who used to be like a voice in my life was the prayer secretary. But she also had her life to deal with, right? And I don't think there was shepherding structure care. I don't think I have ever been accountable to anybody on any ground. Like, accountable, what is account? Account what to you, please? So once you're around me, there's oh, bless you, oh, the Lord is good, throw a few scriptures here and there, help you complete your sentences, Christianese here and there. On the outside, brother. On the inside, it was so dark, so dark. And it was the same thing in my family. I remember going home one time. It was election season in church. It wasn't an election because it was the leaders who did this election, and then they pray according to them and select the people who God puts an impression in their heart that they should be the leaders of the fellowship. So, and somehow they had tossed my name around, oh, president of the fellowship. In my head, I didn't know I was that interested, but I know that eventually I wasn't. And I went home and I cried. And it was the first time I opened up to anybody in my life about anything. And I think it was my dad and my mom I told about it. And he said it was fine and that sometimes those things happen. Maybe it wasn't God's timing and all that.
What did you open up about? The fact that you felt bad about not being selected?
Yes.
Not about your sinful life.
Eh?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Single life that was active. Is it if you want to stop, you not open up? It was active and it was living an alive.
Okay.
Yes. So my parents also, there's a reputation, Papa. Till today, my dad calls me Papa. And then I think one of those days he was rebuking one of my younger brothers. I have 3, so choose whichever one you want. So he was rebuking one of my younger brothers and said that he came to his school and so my dad used to do that thing where he would surprise you with a visit to your house in school, and he would make sure he gets to the house so he knows the place. So by the time he got to my brother's house, he was surprised himself because there were 2 ladies sitting on the bed, and he never left my father. And then he was sort of doing a comparison with me. Now, what he did not know before that time was that every time he wanted to visit my house, information will come to me. Your father is coming. Now send the alarm. Broadcast message. None of you should near my house. Arrange the house, clean up. House always clean. So my dad used to be very proud of me. I'm sure that he will see this video, so I'll just send it to him. That's my confession to you, sir. House used to be very neat, so he would come and like, child, you really met the Lord. I know they had said it to me a number of times. I'm like, before the union, oh God. And he was telling my brother that he has visited my house a number of times. He has never, spotless, that this is the portrait of a believer, a child of God. You, just the one time I came to your house,
I saw exhibit everywhere. And then after that, you changed your house to a house I don't know. Because my brother rented another house that my father, they were in Owerri, but my father never saw him. They were in Owerri together. Hey, have I given him out? Okay, 2 of them were in Owerri at some point. So, still, but, but the weight of living up, being this papa guy, that, and people are wicked. Why are you calling me Papa K? What's the papa about? What is the pressure about? So you're constantly trying to live up to a certain impression. Breadcrumbs, and then I eventually became president of the fellowship. And according to them, I was supposed to be a pastor. One of the leaders then, he was a member of the alumni body, calls me and says that I'm his project now, that he has a strong impression that he should invest into my life, and that he has to mentor me, right? So he tells me that anytime I'm coming to minister the word, I have to fast. I have to be on a fast, and then I have to pray for at least a number of hours, and then study the word, and then we're supposed to keep tabs, pray every day and all that. And that was like sort of the first time that I had any form of guidance, right? Guidance, not that there were no people who were leaders over me, but sort of somebody who demanded feedback, demanded to know what is going on in your life. I want to know. But he also was very occupied because he was an assistant pastor in one of the big churches in Oyo, which I eventually started attending to. But at the time, my only church that I was attending was that fellowship, because I was tired of the prophetic words. So
tired of the prophetic word you're getting in the other churches.
Yes, and the words were not reaching me. So I said, the people who they were calling, no problem to me, I'll look for my own way. So that's when I even started reading my Bible. Although most of the times the Bible reading was to have something to say in fellowship, and by this time I was bound with, on different levels. There was pride, there was sexual immorality, there was traces of homosexuality from primary school, which also manifested in secondary school. I skipped that story, but maybe when I give an extensive deliverance from sexual immorality, I would go into all the details. But it came up again in secondary school and sort of died, I think. Okay, when we talk about the deliverances and all that, there was depression, there was lying, there was stealing in some sense, because there was stealing. I had to be accountable to him, but the only part of my life I opened up about was devotion. Were you praying? How long were you fasting? And I sort of got into that routine, right, to sort of have something to report to him. So, did you read your Bible? Yes, I did. And it started well. It felt like the immorality sort of fizzled out, and after a while, he came back. But again, remember my pact that I had made that I wouldn't tamper with the lost sheep, but any other sheep outside. And then we had stories going around that I was told about some pastor in the past of the fellowship who would bring people to church or to the fellowship, give their souls to God and take the body. I don't know if you people understand what I mean, but he would bring the people, get them to I'm surrendering my life to Christ, and then start sleeping with them. So he has given God the soul and then taking the body for himself. And it was something that they threw around in fellowship, and I didn't want to be that guy who would be part of the history. But it was also self-preservation. I was trying to keep a good name. It wasn't really living for the Lord. And of course there were relationships that started popping up outside fellowship. I remember a relationship I got into, and she refused to attend fellowship. Said she wouldn't attend because I was there, and that she wanted to have the opportunity to be in a relationship with me, right? And a lot of things happened. There were a lot of things that happened during my time as in the fellowship. In fact, it was in the fellowship that I started speaking in tongues after a long time. So there were a lot of good things that happened, but also a lot of gory things that happened. And just to summarize it, I maintained that appearance until I eventually had to drop out of school. And I didn't drop out because I was going to drop out. There was no, I didn't stop attending school because there was a conscious plan to stop. It was just with all the carryovers. I remember going to my HOD once and needing to apply for suspension of studies because it was already time for exams and I didn't have any CA at all. And it's not like I spent the time meaningfully. There was nothing I was doing with the time. I would say fellowship, but fellowship held only on Sundays and Tuesdays. So what did you do with all of these other time pockets? And my parents were waiting for, of course the plan was after this one, let's find a way and get you to study medicine. The medicine plan was still active. So if you knew that you were talking to a doctor, somehow I noticed that I had gone dull. In primary school, used to be top of the class. Secondary school, starting-ish, but sort of tailed off. I remember one lady crying in class in secondary school about her results, and I told her, why are you crying? She said she was 14th or something. I'm like, why are you crying? I don't even know how shameless I was that. I said, if you see my own result, I removed it. I think I was 43rd. I think I was 43rd though. Yes, I think I was 43. How many were we in class? We were only 60 something. God. But yeah, so I went to my HOD and I lied to her. I told her that I've been sick throughout. And then if you looked at me, I looked sick. I don't know why or how, but I looked sick. And the people who were in a relationship with me, I'm wondering what they were seeing because I looked very horrible. My HOD sees me and you are really sick. She signs this thing. She pushes it herself. She calls this person, and then that's how I suspended that session. The next session, I'm supposed to come back, repented, so I'm going to take up your case. And she's a pastor, so she said she's praying for me and all that. So again, I run away till it's another exam season. Now I have a new exams officer. Okay, it was my exam officer at the time who, when I met my HOD, I had an exam officer. Now at this time when I'm coming back, my exam officer has become HOD. So I had to upgrade the life. So I told him that I had a terminal disease and that my life was going to end soon, and that he should please help me. I know that it feels like I'm an unserious person, but that I'm not that unserious. I know that I have some level of unseriousness, but it's just situations of life that is making me the way I am. The man laughed. He laughed. And after laughing, he told me, see, there's no story I've never heard in this life. I knew that it was checkmate for me. He said, see, you will start all these things. Yeah, just let me tell you, you are going back to year 2, right? At this time, I think my mates were moving to year 4, thereabouts. You have to go back to year 2, bro. And it's not like you are going and you are maintaining this your CGPA that is shaking and hoping on the Lord. So whether you go and soak it in yeast for it to rise, I don't know how you are going to do it, but something has to give. Right? So I left him. While I was in school, I used to do graphic designs on the side. My dad, one of his siblings, had sent him a laptop. He didn't know what to do with it, so I picked up the laptop and I started learning how to do graphics designs. So in fellowship, I'll help them design and all that and all that. So I had started doing that, and I remember one of my friends, I was telling him about this situation with my exam officer, and then the guy comes to me with cancer. It's like this guy was studying pharmacy and was going through a lot than I would ever go through in my life. Agapi can relate. And then he tells me, but do you think you even need, I don't think you're one of the people who needs a degree in this life to make it, right? But him, he's studying his own degree, going to school, pharmacy is showing him shege, he's having receipts, he's doing it, going, and I took the cancer. Foolish me. Like, what do I even need a degree for? Just after that, my president at the fellowship at the time when we were having this conversation, okay, she had graduated. She calls me out of the blues and tells me, Kingsley, no matter what happens, don't stop schooling. I don't know why, but don't stop. And I said, okay. And then I stopped the next day. And I used to be that foolish. Maybe I still am sometimes, but God is helping me. And the depression doubled after that. So I'm the one that made the decision. What am I depressed about? And then it degenerated into suicidal thoughts. I'm thinking, what is my life? And then there are times when I would go, I think I started attending a new church. And then the church used to preach against marriage and sexual immorality. And pastor would say, by the means of a warish woman, you see a young man used to look for bread and he'll do his hand like this. So I used to see my life as, and it's not like it's breadcrumbs, because I know the things that I've done. Like, I know the things that I've done in this life. And then I would hang out with, I don't know how I didn't join a cult in Oyo, but all the guys who I used to hang out with, because they don't go to school, cult boys, they will drink from morning till night again in their company. And then I don't know how I never, drinking and smoking was just never my thing. Yes, at some point I think in my life only ever tested alcohol once, but it was bitter in my head. I'm like, what's the force? Like, this thing is not even sweet. What is the like? Please, you people. If it's sweet, you can tempt me with it, but this one, forget about it. Then smoking. What is? You are smoking. What? Why are you sending hot fumes into your chest? So it wasn't for me. So every time I would be in the company of people who did all of that. So my own part was less humanized. I'm not cut out for any other thing. So
Not cut out for any other thing that could be.
so so I stopped schooling, and after that I left. By this time, fellowship, there are only a number of tenors you can have. So I had 2 tenors. They wanted me to continue. There was conversation about school, reapplying and all that, because I had spoken to some fellowship leaders who were like, okay, why don't you try a different course and all that, then continue. But even me, I was tired, and I stopped attending fellowship. I focused on my church, where my life had been reduced to a loaf of bread. So I joined church. I don't know if it's my face, or I don't know what it is. I joined the media team, right? I was helping out the pastor at the time, design his books. He used to have a lot of books. He traveled to the US, sell them and all that. And then they were floating the idea of getting me employed full time. But before this time, I had met somebody in church, which was even a pivotal point in my life too, who saw me. I was just doing stuff on my laptop. It's not like anything I was doing. So he asked me, there was somebody in the church who I was looking up to. The guy had gone to India to study graphic design. So I used to look at his designs and I'm like, oh God, look at my designs, look at this guy's designs. I really want to design like him. And then this man walks up to me and tells me, did you travel abroad to study design? I'm like, no. Where did you learn? I said, I'm self-taught. He said, so why does your design look a lot like that guy's designs? You can imagine the confidence he gave to me. Like, forget it, I've conquered the world. So that's how I sort of started taking design seriously, right? Because again, there's a part of my head that I was thinking about, what is medicine or we die. We must go back to this medicine. Funny thing is, I'm afraid of blood. Okay, I was. I can't stand blood. So I'm wondering how I would have even done the medicine. And maybe by now I would have been colleagues with Dr. Kenneth. Oh God. Well, that's how I sort of started doing designs. I was doing it for church. People strangely started reaching out. Oh, this person said you do graphic designs, can you? There was a guy in Calabar. So business has started. So I'm like, okay, do I really have to this school thing? Okay, maybe I'll just have suspended. So let's put it on hold and see how we can make money. Because at this time too, your parents are counting time. This is how many years now? You are not supposed to be asking for school fees again. School fees asking has expired. You can't ask for funds. And then there's pride too. Let nobody insult me because of their money. So I sort of got into that full time, started doing printing jobs. And then I'll travel home sometimes, and eventually I started working in that church full time. So while I was there doing the designs, I also saw people doing video editing, and I'll sort of look at what the person is doing, look at it for a while, then practice on my own. Right? I also learned video editing, learned animations and all. Then the things I don't understand, there was a friend of mine, I became friends with a guy at the time, and I'll ask him how do I go about it, and then he will put me through. So sort of started making money, right? But it wasn't enough, it was just money to eat. So at some point, money wasn't coming from home, you're barely making enough. And the amazing thing throughout school was that I always had people living with me who would not, they wouldn't pay rent or anything. I always had like 7 or 8 people moving to the house. Just people who, they didn't have a house, or year one, okay, they didn't get a hostel space. People from my fellowship, they'll sort of stay with me. So there were always people in the house at some point. But when they were not around, because we revert to depression and sexual immorality and all, and when they were around, another church, I was fine. We maintained that house for a while until I felt like, you know what, I want to live alone. I don't want to live with anybody. I want to stay on my own. And it's stories. People tell you, why is that guy staying with you? He's a parasite. Why is he feeding off you and all that? And then I moved out of the motel house to another house close by. And then all of the activities resumed. And the secrecy and everything. But in this new house, at some point, we could no longer afford rent. I'm saying we because after a while, I still allowed people to come stay with me. But there was this particular brother who had come in for his youth service at the time and stayed with me throughout. There was no pay or anything. And throughout his service here, he had the impression that he was supposed to sow his alawi as seed to a certain church. So it means that I was his father. So you can imagine 12 months. So God bless my mother. God bless her 1,000 times. Because she will send me one big bag of food, noodles, all things. God bless all the mothers in the world, please. And that's what we used to survive on. Became so broke that, I became so poor that the landlord was he was also a very nice person. So he would ask us, how far now? Say, we don't have the money now, but we'll see how next week will be. We started hiding out of the house. So we leave the house by 6 a.m. Just go anywhere you like. Then come back by 11 p.m. 12 a.m. And then we'll come back. I remember one day in the house, like I was so poor that I couldn't afford soap. And the lady who had a small store in front of the house, we had reached our credit limit. Like we are taking things, just give me 1 cup of garri. I will give you next month. They say, okay, no wahala. Next, Pamoyo is all those other things are luxury. So it was seed garri, groundnuts. But we now only had so much that we could not pay her, and I think it was like 1,000 or 2,000 naira. So we now have to be sneaking out of the house. I came back one night, I wanted to have my bath. I checked I went to check my dear mother's Ghana bag that she sends to us for the provisions, and it was just 2 days left. I couldn't afford soap. I had my bath with the toothpaste. It doesn't make sense, but it worked. It worked. So I could not afford soap. Like washing soap, it was such a rough period. So I would trek from its road to down Ikotepene Road, which was where church was. Every day, trek and come back. At some point, we had to leave the house. And then this brother who I met in church, who had told me about the design thing, he just asked me about the accommodation issues, but he couldn't help. And you know that the structure in church in Nigeria is there's a welfare scheme, and there are quotas to meet, their criteria, and then there are things that will give you a welfare package for. So, and then pride, I cannot subject myself to that committee. They want to ask questions and all that. So he also was against it. I beg. So he offered that I come live with him. At the time, he was just maybe 3 months married into his marriage. So that's another chapter. I got a job in that church, and for their graphic design on their media team, helping and all. Also, I was drafted into the youth ministry, and they used to have this outreach where they would gather thousands of youths every month, and it used to happen in a very popular place in Oyo, and sort of grew to be the organizer of the event. So we had the team who manages and organizes, and then hosted the team at some point. And of course, it felt like I had all of those things sort of went down again. I was attending church again, the Word of God, but media teams. The media team had a room. So when you come into church and you are in that media room, you're really not in church. And that's like how most media teams around churches in Nigeria are. So you'd find that the media people are not growing in any way. You'd find them living a certain type of life. You find them doing like these are the church members, and then there are the media team members. Those ones is a different church. So while there, I don't think I should go into this because I'll still talk about it in the sexual immorality. When I talk about it in the when I talk about deliverance from sexual immorality. So, but I got into a relationship that was a situationship because the person came and confided in me how she thought she was in a relationship with somebody, and the person was a leader in the church, and then all of a sudden she asked the question, "What are we?" And then we are nothing but pencils in the hands of the Creator, and she's so heartbroken. She assumed that they were an item and all that.
She doesn't want to be a pencil in the hands of the Creator.
No, she wants to be a pen. That is more permanent. Yes.
She wants to be a pen in God's hands.
Permanent marker written, signed. So.
Please don't come for me.
So I now gave shoulder to lean on. But there's a popular adage that my guys that they used to say. They say that lean on me does not mean press me die. So I got to the press me die point. where I was the ear, and then and the church is the teaching is about is marriage. So if somebody's around you too much, they'll call you bro. How far now? Glory to God that you are. Glory to God for what? I know nothing that say but you are everywhere. So that relationship went sour. At the same time, we had to leave this my brother's house, who I was staying with at the time. It was getting uncomfortable. It was a 2-bedroom flat. His wife had just given birth to another child. His mother had to come. So it was a lot. Thankfully, I had worked for a while. I had saved some money, so I could get an apartment. I could afford an apartment. And of course, the teaching at the time is that you have to save. So at the time, I think my salary was 25,000. I know I was earning some money also from some guy in Calabar as a side hustle, but my savings monthly was 40,000. I don't know how I was doing it, but I was also contributing to the house. Okay, maybe there were printing gigs that were coming, there were design jobs on the side, but I knew that I was mostly hungry. Most of that period, I was always hungry, but we had to save. We had to meet this quota. So, where do we get a house and all that? I remember I spoke to a friend of mine. So she asked me what I wanted, whether I wanted a house, wanted to get a house, or I wanted accommodation, and that is what I should ask God for. So, okay, this happened even before I moved into this my friend's house, because I needed a house. This landlord was going to throw me out, so I prayed, and that accommodation was supplied. So I knew it was a practice that God can supply if you ask Him. So by the time I was looking for the house, I said, well, I have money, but where do you want me to stay and all that? And I got a house, and I also made a vow that if you give me a house by yourself, it'll be a house of prayer. I'll dedicate my time praying, studying the word and all that. I eventually got the house. At this time, I had started encountering some messages from. So I knew that it was a major deliverance, because I was at a crossroad where it was the things that I was going through and the things I was doing didn't make sense to me, and there was a reputation I was trying to maintain, and in my head there has to be justification, there has to be a reason why I can't stop, right? So I started listening to a certain man who will tell you, oh, God does not live in heaven. Wherever he was before they created heaven, that's where he was. If you know, you know. And I sort of started following his teachings. It was always very very daring in his messages. So I'm like, are you sure that I shouldn't just follow this? And then the apostles had a different brand of message: consecration, God wants you to live a holy life. And then an event came up. There was going to be a meeting at Inside Bible Church in New York that year, and one of the apostles and Pastor Lawrence Oyo were coming, and I just somehow knew that I should be in that meeting. But in church, the way church functions is that you can't miss meetings, like, and then you're like a key cog of what happens in church. So there's no how you're just going to up and leave. And so somehow I don't know how it happened, but I attended the meeting. I didn't attend the first day, but I attended the second day. And I sort of started deciding, like, oh, I don't think this is who I want to be. I don't think that I can be this guy anymore who is hiding all of these parts of his life, and then at the same time having a form of godliness. You're looking all invested into the Lord, you're loving the Lord. But again, it sort of tilted me slightly, because what I got out of the teachings, it felt like, you know, where the scripture says, pursue love and desire spiritual gifts, right? It was to flip for me. So I started pursuing spiritual gifts and desiring love. So I was like, God, I want to love you. Just help me. Just help me live this life. Just help me be this person. And then spiritual giftings, we press. We press up. You know what they say? In every sense of pressing God. So started going on fast. And this, my brother who was around for NYC, was also, so he attends one of the top churches in Nigeria. So fasting and sowing is already a lifestyle for him. So he'll tell me that he's on day 210 consecutively, 6 to maybe 11 p.m. Then quickly rush and eat something for the day before, so that the fast can start by 12. So I said, this may be the way that I'll be delivered. So I started pressing, started fasting. We go on the 100 and something, 200 and something fasting. And you know, where you are going, you have stories to tell too. We like the story of I was waiting on the Lord for 200 and something years, 200 and something days, and the Lord said to me. So I wanted to also, when I come up, I tell you people that I've been waiting on the Lord for 400 and something years, 400 and something days, and the Lord gave me a word for you. So that was the new craze. Press, like, fasting, prayers, 10 hours prayers, 11 hours prayers. And when you start, it feels like, I don't know, demons are wicked, they will first allow you and go and laugh and then come back. Like, you just allow you, let's see what he wants to do this time. Let's see what the new style is. And started that, I started having the feeling that maybe this church is no longer, cannot accommodate my spiritual zest. I have to press into, I think by the time I moved into my house, I simultaneously left the church to another church. Now in this new church, the pastor was one of the apostles' spiritual son. So prayer, God, I will pray. I will pray. I prayed 28 hours, 12 hours, God, fasting marathons. Oh God, the activity was. Then I would shut down every month. I think from the first month I moved into the house, I was shut down for 7 days a week. I wouldn't eat for the 7 days straight, and I would pray. But I wasn't reading my Bible, so I'll press. It's called pressing. Like, yeah, I will press and press till I conquer the world. It wasn't what he meant to, but that was my interpretation. I had to press things out of my life, and the going was smooth sailing. And the funny thing is that in this new church that I had just moved into, I sort of automatically became a leader too. So I mentioned that I was a leader in this other, so I became a leader, but now it was one of the core leaders of the church. Was not the pastor, they were pastors, but there was no meeting, there were no decisions that I wasn't privy to. And most importantly, which was a dangerous space to be, there was no accountability, because you are considered a leader, but nobody was really asking questions of what happens to you. There's an assumption that this one a fasting machine, a prayer machine, so nothing, right? Once in a while you go up, lead prayers, take a posture. I remember one time like that after leading prayers, somebody called me and asked me, do you follow this man, ex-apostle, that you now stand like him, the way you position your hand and this one? Yeah. So we all started to fall apart. So my old church, part of the major reasons I left too was I know that I claimed that I had prayed about it, and then I felt led to leave the church. But also there were whispers about the situationship, right? And I think one of the pastors from then came to ask me. Funny thing is that when I was leaving the church to this new church, this auntie also joined this new church. So the story in church was that, and she wasn't the only one. There was another auntie in the mix. So both of them left the church with me.
Oh my God.
So the story is that I carried them to this new church. They joined the church at different times. It's just that the timeline aligned, but there was no conversation anywhere. So that bothered me. My former pastor looked for me for a while. I remember turning off my phone, and then I kept one of my colleagues as sacrificial lamb in that church. They will ask him, where is your brother? He said, I don't know. Where is your brother? So at the time, I went home. I had the impression to go on a retreat. I went home. I think I was reading a book. I think it was The Supernatural by Bill Johnson. I can't remember. Maybe I can't remember. But I know that eventually I started hearing some things that I don't even want to talk about. But I know that I remember going home and I spent 3 days fasting and praying. And on one of those days, it felt like it was the Lord speaking to me. And I know that the major part of my prayer was, Lord, just deliver me from sexual immorality. I want to stop. I just want to end it. I'm tired. It's not something I want to be known for. And then I've heard stories, my pastor used to tell stories about, men of God who this is what ended their lives. People who would have had great destinies and it was all lost. So I remember that I think I had shared with you that I was praying one of those days and it felt like there was a screen and there were people who they felt like real people who I was praying for. Like there's a woman in Ibadan, there was a man who was going to be in an accident, and it felt like I had to pray for him. I prayed, and then the accident sort of got averted, and stuff like that. Those kinds of experiences. So the going was good, but like I said, I got into the activity routine. I was no longer studying my Bible. I was no longer praying as much. It was now church activity after church activity, and it's not like I was participating. I was just there to make sure that the screens were working and there was a seamless flow. Because if for any reason during the service there is a glitch, my pastor back then was a tiger. By the time he tells you the things that he will tell you, you think about your life a million times. Like there are times when he would vent. He's venting and venting and venting. Well, and then he will come up close to you, to your face, and be breathing. So you know that now it's an angel that is holding this man, because normally you should have slapped you like 4 times. Like it used to be that bad. So I got to the point where almost everything has to be excellent in quotes. The transition between this to this, when you play the video, you cannot play a video and then the audio does not come up. You are dead. After service, just look for a burial ground and make yourself comfortable. Just take the time, send a note to your family. Unfortunately, I have committed suicide, and I just wanted to tell you that I've got to be with, I don't know if it's the Lord or Satan. So you cannot. So once you have that depression, first, so just walk around, look for an excuse, something you have to bring, and even with the excuse, you still collect. So that became the routine, and with that, I got into a relationship again, and this time this person was way older than myself, way older, and it first started out as looking out for me, and this person had children, so I'm not going to. There are people in this service that don't know, so the person had children, so that's all I can say. And it started out as looking out for me. Why are you okay? Are you not? And then my sacred house that I had consecrated to the Lord, all of a sudden became a den of misbehavior again, and eventually affected my time in Abuja, which is part of my conversion story, part of the things that happened after I came to God's Lighthouse. But it sort of went down, and then the secret double life started all over again. You are in church leading prayers, you are in church being apostle, you are in church being man of this, to this creature that, like, nobody could go through my phone. For what? What are you going through my phone for? Are you alright? For what? Why do you know my password? What do you want to see? Look, what? Okay, that's all fine. You can't go through my phone. There were hidden apps. Oh, I didn't even talk about pornography. I'll talk about it later in the sexual immorality testimony. But everything came right back.
relationships. Funny thing is, I had a horrific fear of man, and it's so bad that it's not just to tell you I love you. What do you want to hear from me? I love you. I love you now. Like, from the day my mother gave birth to me, I always knew that I was going to fall in love with you. So I love you. Right? So tell me that you love me. I just said it. Do you want me to say it 1,000 times? And I don't mean anything that I'm just saying now. But I have to please you, right? So that was also in play. But after a while, crisis happened in the church. There were accusations that were made towards the pastor at the time. The church sort of went into hibernation. A lot of stories were floated around about what happened and what did not happen. Also, while I was in the church, my dad was trying to get me out. My dad called me one time and said, "Kingsley, please come. How many years have you been in New York now?" I told him 10 years at the time. And then he said, "Please, go to any other state in Nigeria. I will sponsor it. Please, but leave you." So I gave him my 10-year agenda. How this is what I'm doing now. At the time, I was running 2 businesses. There was a graphic outfit that had graduated into printing. I started helping somebody run his print business. I also was doing waste management. We created a subscription-based thing where it help people pick up their waste in the house, then dispose it, then pick up valuables, sell it, recycle some things and all that. But that didn't last for long, because after a while I had to leave Uyo to Abuja, and it was that crisis period. I had a female bestie who eventually we started dating by the time this transition season, and we actually made active plans to get married by the end of the year, and that was how the journey sort of started. So there's a long story too about the things that happened after I came to Abuja, and also I think maybe I'll stop here and then continue.
When you're continuing next week, you're starting from your
Conversion. So yes, it was
and
the things I
deliverance.
learned to.
Okay. Guys, so we'll bring this session. This is part 1. I know that you are wondering, how do we get to having a brother Kingsley? And some of you, if you are like me, is it changed now? Or is it that thing where they still undercover? It's my shift. I would have slapped the undercover out of the other people. No, God has done a lot in his life and he's still doing a lot. The slap was a joke. Because people take me literally tomorrow, say that in that church they slap people. But you know, the funny thing is that God is very kind. And although one can be very zealous and still have struggles, God is patient with us and reaches out to each and every one of us, here and there. So, you know, God is asking you to reach out to people. Do your best to reach out. God bless you. Next week, we'll go into part 2 of this testimony. Let's see how far the goal is going for Brother Kingsley.
Thanks for watching. For more stories of God's transforming power as well as all the life-changing content, do check out the links in the description. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, turn on your notification bell, and share. God bless you.